I was just scrolling on TikTok one day. I saw the Ryan Pineda video. I saw he said he was making like $8,000 a month flipping couches. And just like everybody else, I said I was gonna do it, and I kept putting it on the back burner. And one day I saw a free couch.
Not everyone that got into couch flipping has that sort of knack for flipping or that, let's say, entrepreneurial background.
I bought some Travis Scotts for $150 and I sold them $1,500. That's like only for like the Travis Scott collab. That's what hot at the time.
And part of it is just, it's a local supply chain. You can buy and sell a cell phone nationally, even internationally. You can buy and sell shoes nationally or even internationally. Whereas, a big bed or a big couch like that. All right, welcome to another episode of the Couch Pod. Today, I'm joined by Jeffrey Gray of the Couch King, flipping out in Mississippi, if I have that correct.
Yeah, I'm in Mississippi.
Awesome, Jeffrey. Thank you so much for coming on today and sharing your secrets to success. How long have you been flipping?
I started flipping back in March of 2023.
Okay, so a little over 2 years then.
Yeah, a little over 2 years.
And how'd you hear about couch flipping? How'd you get started?
I pretty much got the same story as everybody else. The Ryan Pineda video. I was just scrolling on TikTok one day. I saw the Ryan Pineda video. I saw he said he was making like $8,000 a month flipping couches. And just like everybody else, I said I was gonna do it, and I kept putting it on the back burner. And one day I saw a free couch. I went and got it and sold it. I cleaned it up. I actually brought it to my grandma's house because I was living in an apartment at the time. I brought it to my grandma's house. She has a pretty big storage room where I keep a lot of other stuff. So I put it in there, came back, cleaned it up. I sold it for $500, maybe 2 hours after I posted it. I just been doing the same thing ever since.
I mean, that must have been a really eye-opening experience for you then.
Yes, it was.
What were you doing before you were flipping couches then?
If you want to go all the way back from the beginning, I've been doing electrical work since I was like 14. I've been an electrician. I'm a licensed electrician now. And then so I was still doing electrical work when I first started flipping couches, but always on the side, I always been a reseller. So I first started off reselling jerseys. I was reselling jerseys back. That was a little bit before the pandemic. And then with COVID and stuff, the shipping for the jerseys got real slow. So that's when I started selling shoes. I started reselling shoes. I was real deep into reselling shoes, man. I love reselling shoes. That was like my passion because I always been a sneakerhead. So if I could actually make money off something that I love anyway, that was something that I really love doing. But as time went on, everybody started selling shoes, so the prices kind of went down, the profit margins kind of shrunk. So that's when I was still selling shoes, but I wasn't really doing it as serious. But then that's when I discovered couch flipping.
Understood. Yeah. So you had experience flipping things in the past, and
yeah,
even though the items are different, obviously shoes versus couches, just that core experience of finding the inventory, creating a good listing, and then transacting with people online, all of that process was familiar to you.
Yeah, it was pretty familiar. I always sold different things. In while I was doing shoes and jerseys, sometimes I would buy like phones and flip them. Everything I look at, I try to see how much can I get it for and sell it for. That's just something I always had a passion for.
It's a unique mindset. Not everyone that got into couch flipping has that sort of knack for flipping or that, let's say, entrepreneurial background. How do you think that's impacted your flipping business?
It's impacted my flipping business pretty good because you able to see potential in everything. So a lot of people may see a dirty couch and just not even think twice about buying it. I look at a dirty couch and try to see how long would it take me to clean it up and actually make some money off of it. So you really got to have an eye for those type of things.
What do you think is the big difference between flipping the smaller items like shoes or cell phones, electronics, versus flipping big items like couches?
Obviously, the profit margin on a couch is on a couch, you can pay $200 for a couch and sell it for at least $500 minimum. With a pair of shoes, it's some shoes out there that you can buy for $200. Certain collab shoes you can buy for $200, and I bought some Travis Scotts for $150 and I sold them. I think I had sold them for like $1,500. That's only for the Travis Scott collab. That's what hot at the time, and stuff like that. It's that's pretty much every couch where you can make pretty much at least $300 on. That's what I try to make at least $300 off every couch. And with a pair of shoes, most shoes, most jerseys, it's you might profit anywhere from $60 to $100. You may every now and then you're gonna get that one special pair that you're gonna make a couple $100 on. So the difference is the profit margin.
Yeah, and that makes total sense. And something that I've thought about a lot, which is why is there a unique opportunity around flipping furniture, flipping couches? And part of it is just it's a local supply chain. You can buy and sell a cell phone nationally, even internationally. You can buy and sell shoes nationally or even internationally. Whereas, a big bed or a big couch like that can only be really delivered an hour or two away from where that item is.
Yeah, that's a good point too.
It's probably not worth shipping it via freight. Right. Now, you get into bigger items like cars. Yeah, it is worth shipping a car across the country, but it's not really worth shipping like your average furniture, which is why a lot of that just ends up in the dump when people don't have a use for it.
Yeah.
And so for someone like yourself, the opportunity with furniture flipping is just the ability to consistently make high profit margins. That makes it worth your time. Like if you with the shoes, yes, it's more work or less work to flip a pair of shoes than it is to flip a sectional. But if you're willing to put in that work, then the fact that you can consistently make like 5-10 flips a week at a $300 profit margin means that you could build a lifestyle around that.
Yeah, that's where your upsell is. You saving somebody the hassle of carrying that big sectional up 2-3 flights of stairs. So you able to add on some more profit that way. So a normal person that won't mind if they have a car. They won't mind just driving a couple minutes to come pick up a pair of shoes. But when you talk about delivering a couch, I mean, I have so many people ask me, because I tell them I've been doing this 2 years, and they ask me, how's my back still good? But that's where you get to upcharge it.
Yeah, it's a great point. Like most people have a car, especially in a big spread out city or cities out in Mississippi, but not everyone has a truck. And not everyone is willing to move a big heavy item. So I think that also creates a natural barrier for people that are not naturally inclined. Yeah.
And you wouldn't believe how many people that have a truck and they still just rather me deliver it. So that's another thing too. People just don't want to do it.
It's true. People don't. It's like hard work. It's literally backbreaking labor. So if you're one of the few people that are willing to put in that work, there's a really cool, interesting opportunity for you to start making money and get started with just a couple $1,000s in investment. Right? You need a truck, trailer, a little bit of storage, and most important thing is like you got to be willing to hustle.
You got to be willing.
But for the people that are willing to hustle, like there is good money there. Like how would you say flipping furniture has changed your life compared to like when you were an electrician, for example?
Flipping furniture it's mainly brought me freedom, man. Like when I was doing electrical work, I was working for somebody, man. Now it's a Friday. When I was an electrician, I'd normally be, on a job site or something right now. Right now, I'm at my grandma's house getting ready to put a radio in her car. And I'm not even doing any work, but I actually got a couch on the back of my truck right now. I'm going to deliver that after this interview. But it's like I get the freedom to make my own schedule. I get the freedom to make more money, which a lot of people don't believe. It just brought me way more freedom, man. And I'd rather have freedom more than anything.
And I mean, if you're a certified electrician, I mean, there's a lot of talk about how the trades are undervalued in America now, and actually like why more people should drop out of college and get into trades, because you can actually make more money doing a trade. And you're finding that like you have more freedom and you're making more money even than when you were an electrician. Cool. So where exactly is the business today? Like if you had to give me a roundabout number, like how much revenue are you doing on a monthly basis, and how much of that is profit?
On a monthly basis, I'm bringing in around $20,000 a month revenue, maybe 11 or 12,000 that is profit.
Wow. Okay.
$10,000 minimum profit.
Super solid. So 6 figures profit each year.
Yes.
And so let's say you're doing 20 gross and then 12 net profit.
Yes.
So that means your margins are around 60%.
Around 60%.
So how does that break down? Like where are you spending money on in the business?
A lot of my money in the business is spent on. I have a lot of older trucks, so a lot of this is spent on maintenance for my trucks. I have a warehouse, and mainly inventory, really.
Got it. How big is the warehouse?
My warehouse isn't huge. I think my warehouse is maybe 30 by 40 or something like that. I don't know the exact numbers.
Okay, cool. And do you mind sharing how much you pay for the warehouse?
My warehouse, I pay $650 a month.
That's not bad. That's like 50 cents a square foot.
Yeah. And that's an amazing deal. I had looked for a warehouse. I had looked for a warehouse for so long before I was able to find it.
And what part of Mississippi are you in?
I'm in Central Mississippi. My warehouse is in Pearl, so I'm about 10 minutes outside of Jackson.
Mm-hmm. So I mean, you're spending a pretty small amount on the warehouse, all things considered.
Yeah.
And then like the trucks you own outright, but there's maintenance and like repairs that you have to make.
Yeah. Like I'm in my Silverado right now because my Tundra needs a water pump, and I got a Ford that I use my Ford more than anything because it's the oldest truck that I have, and it has a long bed, but I need a tire on it. I just haven't done it. Just little maintenance stuff like that. It's not. I haven't had to replace any transmissions or motors or anything.
That's cool. And do you do that like automotive work yourself, or you have like a mechanic that you rely on?
No, I have a handful of mechanics I go to.
Got it. And so other than that, like your costs are pretty low and it's mostly what you're spending on couches.
Yeah.
Now for the business today, how do you source your couches and how do you sell your couches?
I mainly source my couches on Marketplace. For the most part, I source my couches on Marketplace and I sell on Marketplace. But for a lot of times, I have maybe a handful of people that just send me couches literally like 24/7. Like when people are posting couches on Marketplace in certain groups, sometimes I'm late seeing them or something like that, and people just send me couches. Or I have a couple people, they just lock down deals for me and let me know when to go pick it up. And whenever I sell it, I might throw them some lunch money or something like that. And on the selling part, I sell most of my couches on Marketplace, and I have a Facebook group.
Okay. How influential do you think is the Facebook group to your success overall?
The Facebook group, that really took my business to another level, because it's like when you drop a couch in the Facebook group, it's like people don't have to go on Marketplace to look for a couch. It's on their timeline, so they don't have to actually go looking for it. You see what I'm saying? Mm. And say if like you're not getting a lot of attention on the couch and on Marketplace, you can go on that Facebook group and you can just click the add button and then click everybody, and literally I have 2,800 people in my group, so it's like all of them will get a notification at the same time that I just posted a couch. Mm-hmm. You see what I'm saying? So yeah. The Facebook group, it really took my business to another level.
So let's just focus in on the sourcing, and I want to circle back to the selling. But like sourcing wise, you're finding most of your deals on Facebook, but it seems like you have either people that are like you're partnering with that are commissioned to look for deals for you, or is it that like people just know who you are and like seek you out to sell couches?
A lot of people where I am in Mississippi, everywhere in Mississippi, man, it's like everybody knows everybody. It's real small. It's not small as in geographical, but it's small as in like everybody is gonna know everybody. So like I said, I've been doing this 2 years, and I'm probably the only. I know I'm the only flipper in my area. I'm the only flipper that does it like the way we do it. It's a couple other people that they buy storage units and stuff like that. They may come across a couch every now and then. And most of the time, they sell their couches to me because they don't want to clean them up. They don't want to deal with scammers on Marketplace and stuff like that. So it's like I kind of just made a name for myself in my area. So when it's a couch, like I have some people, they may see a decent section on the side of the road or something, and people I don't even know, they just take a picture of it, send it to me. Whenever I sell it, I might send them $20 or something. You see what I'm saying? Or sometimes I have a lot of people that tell me they just want to see me win. They don't even want me to pay them. So, that's how I do a lot of my sourcing. And a lot of people, even in my Facebook group, they just hit me up just to sell their couch. And I have a lot of people in other Facebook groups that just send me couches. And like I said, I just pay them whenever I sell it.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's really cool. I mean, you've built a name for yourself.
Yeah.
Out in your market, and people are sending you deals, and you're not even asking them to.
Yeah, I made a post in my Facebook group. Probably I do this maybe every couple months or slow, or if pickups are getting slow or something like that. I make a post. I say like I pay people to send me couches or something like that, or if you have couches or know somebody with a couch, just send them my way, just stuff like that. And people remember stuff like that, especially if you tell them that you're gonna pay them.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and what I found is that like couch flipping is a unique thing. So every time you interact with the customer and they're a little bit curious, like, hey, what do you do? Like, where'd you get this couch from? And you tell them, oh, this is what I do for a living. It always piques people's interest. And the next time they have someone in their house, they're like, you're never going to guess, how I got this couch. And they have a cool story to share.
Yeah.
And, that becomes conversation fodder. And so, I think people should lean into that a little bit more. Flippers should lean into that narrative a little bit more. Be proud of what they're doing because, as you found in your local community, people want to support that.
Yeah. See, I used to be real scared. I used to be scared when I'm picking up couches or when I'm selling couches to tell people that's actually what I do. But it's like now I'm proud to say it because, like you said, people be wanting to help you, and a lot of people, you never know who you talking to either. Because that's how I got a lot of my connections, by just telling people what I do.
So you sell mostly on Marketplace. You created a Facebook drop group. Like when did that take off?
When did the drop group take off?
Yeah. So like, how long were you working on it? And then, I'm assuming like at first it was slow, but then you're like, oh wait, this is actually working. So tell us about
So I created my Facebook group last year. Well, it was 2024, right before tax time, because I knew I was going to be getting a lot of messages. So that's when I created it. So at first, like you said, that's the door right there. At first it was slow. But like when I first started selling couches, I used to do this thing where I wouldn't mark a couch sold, because it's everybody pretty much had the same couch, so you run across the same couch so many times. So I wouldn't even mark it sold. So when somebody texts me about this couch, I say, no, I don't have this one, but I have this one. And then I used to get a lot of sales that way. So when I was trying to build up people in my Facebook group, I would not mark the couch as sold, but then I would make like a quick text where I could just type like KK, because the name of my business is Couch King with a K. I could just type KK and then an automated message just automatically sent to them. That's sending them a link to my group. So the first maybe 100, 200 people that text me about a couch and it was already sold or something, I have an automatic message sent to them that'll just say, this couch is sold, but you can always join my Facebook group to see what I have coming up next. And so that's how a lot of that's how I got pretty much everybody in my group, really. So once I got maybe 200 people, 200 or 300 people in my group, that's when I started actually seeing sales come from it. And that maybe took like a month or two.
Okay, not long. And now you're like a year into the group?
Yeah, I'm like a year into the group.
Okay.
A little over a year.
A little over. Okay, cool. And what percentage of your sales do you think comes from the group versus just on Marketplace nowadays?
I want to say it's 50-50, but I know it's not. I know it's not strictly 50-50, but I do get a lot of sales from my group. But it comes in bunches. Like 1 week I might make all my sales from the group, and then 1 week the group might be dead, and I'm making all my sales from Marketplace. You see what I'm saying? So I say probably, I want to say 50-50, but I don't know the exact number. Obviously, but I say 60-40. 60-40 may come from Marketplace, maybe 40% from the group.
Got it. But regardless, having another distribution channel is important. That helps hedge against like the slow periods in the business, because you always have sales coming through now.
Because I know a lot of guys right now, they dealing with being shadow banned. I was dealing with being shadow banned on Marketplace one time. I don't know how you get shadow banned. I don't even know how you come from out of it. But I know I was dealing with it at one point, and that was for maybe 2 or 3 weeks. And for those 2 or 3 weeks, this was a couple months ago. For those 2 or 3 weeks, literally every sale I got was from my group. I would have the nicest gray sectional ever posted, and I look at the list, and 3 days later, and I got maybe 10 views on it.
Yeah, and I think shadow banning is like, it's like the boogeyman of couch flipping, right? Like who knows if it even really exists? But everyone's scared of it, right? And I think it's probably not that like there's actually a restriction or a ban that's placed on your account, but it's more like when you list things, those listings are going to perform well or they don't. And if they're consistently not performing well, then it can feel like someone's out to get you, because that's really what shadow banning sounds like, right? It's like you did
Yeah,
something
yeah.
wrong and you're being punished in some way,
It sounds like Facebook hiding your listing from someone. I don't know
right?
what it is, but I know I didn't experience it a couple times.
Yeah. And you know, that way we gave Facebook some like agency over our business, and like our
Mhm.
like they're out to get us. They're like doing something wrong, right? And I don't think it's like that, but I do definitely appreciate that. It's like, yeah, one week your listings are doing really well, and then the next week it's like you can't get a click, right?
Yeah.
There's something that's, you know, something that you're doing that is being evaluated negatively by the algorithm and keeping your listings from being shown. But you know, this language of shadow banning, I feel like we like it gives us like a level of agency to the algorithm that probably doesn't exist, right? It's not like you did something wrong and they're punishing you, and you know, Facebook's out to get you, right? It's like,
Yeah. We should come up with another word for it.
yeah. But no, it's an important lesson because with flipping, the very thing that creates the opportunity to flip and make money, which is Facebook Marketplace, is it's like the hand that giveth and the hand that taketh away,
Hmm.
right? And so we're so quick to be like, well, fuck Facebook, and you know, they're screwing me over and yada yada yada. But at the same time, it's the entire reason this community, this opportunity exists, is like you could get started without making a massive investment in like a brick and mortar storefront or having to spend thousands of dollars on inventory. You could literally get started with a single flip
And
and
you
get
can
connected.
you
Yeah.
can get started for free. That's the main thing, because Facebook could easily. I don't want to give them no ideas, but they could easily start charging us for every sale. You know what I'm saying? Or $1 per listing. I know some people got 100 couches listed, so you know they could add up. So
hmm
uh,
hmm
you want to give Facebook that grace too.
Absolutely. I think it's an amazing thing. Like it, you know, especially in 2025, where if you're low to middle class, let's say, even like people that are making over $100,000 a year, it can feel like you're just living paycheck to paycheck. You
Hmm.
know, it's hard to get by in modern American society. So anything that gives people an opportunity to like apply themselves and work hard and have financial freedom is, I think, an amazing, really needed thing.
Oh yeah.
Um, and yeah, I think that's super underrated about Facebook. But at the same time, um, like you have this entrepreneurial background and you've flipped other things, but for a lot of people getting into couch flipping, it's like the first time they've ever taken a risk on something, right?
Yeah. And
It's
I've
like
been
they're, yeah.
I've been seeing that a lot, especially since I started doing TikTok. It's like I get so many DMs every day of people just telling me asking me how to get started. And the craziest thing ever is, I guess it's not crazy when you actually think about it, but people ask me, where do I get the couches or where do I sell the couches? I'm like, I to me it just seems obvious that it's on marketplace, but it's like other people like people. I guess a lot of people just don't have like the entrepreneurial background.
And you know, that's being generous in some ways, right? Some people, like the answer could be right in front of them and they still won't act, you know? And it's like you take the risk, you get the reward.
Hmm.
And yeah, I mean, like, and so for some people, they just you can't get them to take the risk. You can't get them to take action, right? And they'll end up stuck. But for the people that are willing to, you know, think outside the box and try something new, there's decent opportunity here. But I think the thing to remember is that, once again, the hand that giveth will also take it away. And so you should, if you want to do this in the long term, you should use Facebook as a launch pad and get into the game. But you pretty quickly need to start diversifying off of Facebook. And that's both in terms of how you source the couches and also how you sell the couches. I
Yeah,
think, yeah.
I really been trying to figure out a way to source couches and sell couches outside of marketplace, but it's kind of hard. But you know, it's something I'll figure out sooner or later. I see a lot of guys on your podcast. It's like they make the website and you know they do stuff like that, or they do pickup ads, stuff like that. I just haven't made the leap to do it, but I need to, you know,
Mhm.
before, because you never know what Facebook is up to at the end of the day.
I think everybody knows that they need to.
Yeah.
Right? Because like everyone has gone through that period where it's like their listings can't get views.
Mm-hmm.
But then like very few people, I'd say this is like the top 10% of people are the ones that actually go and do something about it. You
Yeah.
know? And the good news is like I think we have started to figure this out as a community as well. So, it's not like how it was even 3-4 years ago where you had to go figure out everything on your own. And yes, there is a Facebook group and you can answer questions, ask questions in the Facebook group, but there's not really a structured approach or a structured environment where you can go and like get this information and learn how to do these things. But nowadays, like we have the podcast, we different people have courses, we also have like our mastermind, and we do coaching. So like people putting their heads together, and no matter what stage of business you're at, we can kind of meet you where you're at and then give you the steps to get to that next level. And so, the problem of like, how do I start selling off of Facebook? I mean, that like in one part is doing something like a drop group or running some Facebook ads, creating a website.
Yeah. So would you call the I know you said get off of Facebook, but are you just specifically talking about getting off of Marketplace or just creating a website or something? You know what I'm saying? Technically, like my Facebook group is obviously it's still on Facebook. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you would have to, because I don't want to. I know one option is, a lot of people ask me why won't I just open a store? It's like I don't want to open a store. I feel like it's just another job. But it's like would the best option be to create a website or what?
So when I say get off Facebook, I mean off Facebook Marketplace.
Yeah.
So I think the basic idea is on Facebook Marketplace, you are a transactional seller. So people aren't coming to you because they think about you as an entity or a business that has a particular purpose, which is I go to this guy to get quality, affordable furniture. Instead, they're interacting with you based on a listing, and thus the basis of the interaction is he has a couch that I like at a good price point.
Yeah.
So it's not about the relationship, it's about the transaction. And through the transaction, you can build the relationship, right? But that's not the reason they come and find you.
Mm-hmm.
So with a drop group or a website or advertising, it's the other way around. It's like I'm coming to seek out this guy. He has a business, he has a brand, but I want to do business. I don't know exactly what he has, but I'm curious, I'm interested, and I'm going to go talk to him. And then once they talk to you, you kind of guide them to the right purchase decision. So you need to flip the direction of that interaction if you really want to have autonomy from Facebook Marketplace. That's what I mean.
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
And like these two paths are complementary. In fact, like when people make that transition from Facebook Marketplace to having a brand or a business, oftentimes they like let go of one too soon before they grab hold of the other. Right. And so I always tell people you want to maximize your utilization of Facebook Marketplace. Like it's a beautiful thing. You're getting connected to inventory for free. You're getting connected to a market of interested buyers, people who want to buy couches like in this moment. And you're getting all of that for free. Before you go ahead and pay or build your own brand, like make sure that you're maximizing the fuck out of that, but realize there's a limitation to it, right? And then figure out how to grab hold of the other.
Yeah, you definitely got it. As far as the sourcing, I think I ain't gonna say I mastered it, but I'm pretty good with networking. Like I'm pretty good with like when I was at Smoothie King the other day grabbing a smoothie, and I saw a guy with a I forgot the name of it, but he worked for a moving company, and I shook his hand, told him what I do, and he said they got a bunch of couches at the warehouse that he planned on sending me some pictures of stuff like that. So as far as the sourcing, it's real good to just network, but as far as selling, other than the Facebook group and the website, you really got to figure out a way to get yourself off Marketplace.
Mm-hmm. And I think what you're doing with the funneling of transactions into the Facebook group is exactly right. And who's to say you need much more than that either? So I think this overall strategy is exactly right, which is every single interaction that you're having for free on Facebook Marketplace that's transactional, convert it into a relationship. The way you do that is you add them like, hey, follow me on Instagram. Hey, join my Facebook drop group. And now they're not interacting with you because they like want one specific couch. They're interacting because they're like, oh, who's this guy in my community? He has this like interesting business model, and like maybe next time I want to get a couch, I'm going to get it from him and just drop it. Now you have the relationship, and so I think that conversion is very, very powerful. And once again, it's free.
So yeah, I try to get so many people in the group because like you said, that's where I can do. That's where I can handle all my business at. So even whether you buy a couch from me or not, I always send a link to the group. And when I deliver, if I didn't send a link to the group, I don't have one on me right now, but I normally keep like a little business card. It has a QR code, and that QR code will take you straight to my Facebook group and let you join. So I always try to get everybody in the group. Some people join, some people don't, but that's just how it goes sometimes.
Yeah, perfect. And so like you, once again, you had this intuition about it. You probably heard about the Facebook drop group, like Dylan Pabia or someone.
Yeah, I heard about. I ain't mean to cut you off. I heard about the Facebook group. I got that idea on your podcast.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah.
Glad we can. This is what the podcast is about, right? Like one person tries something out in their market and it works for them, and other people tune in and like, oh, that's a good idea, and they try to implement that in their business. That's what I mean. There's a little bit more of a community and like a pathway that you can walk now. You don't have to figure it all out for yourself. It's because other people are doing it too, and y'all can learn from each other. But at the end of the day, it's on you as the flipper to take that initiative to go and make something happen in your business. And I think people have this idea that like they end up waiting too long. I've talked to so many people who have this problem where it's like they're waiting for that perfect moment, or I'm going to create the perfect website, and that's when I'm going to start marketing. Whereas like you can start building a brand for yourself today, and it's as simple as like, hey, I left this listing up. I'm getting a bunch of messages like, follow me on Instagram. Right? And so,
that goes for a lot of things, man. If you wait on that perfect moment, that perfect whatever, you will never get started. It ain't nothing gonna never be perfect. You just got to get started. That can go for anything.
Absolutely.
I tell a lot of people that on my TikTok when a lot of people just say they waiting for a free couch, or they waiting for it's so many different excuses that people make instead of just going on Facebook, getting the couch and selling it. It's ridiculous.
No, I agree with you 100%. Like, and that is probably the most common bit of entrepreneurial advice I give too. It's like, don't wait. What can you do today? And it's hard because in school and like in the corporate world, I think we're kind of trained to like have want things to be perfect instead of having a predisposition for action and just like trying to get as much shit done as possible. Because if you are an entrepreneur, that like whatever you think is the right way or whatever you think is correct in your head before you do it is probably going to be wrong.
Yeah. No matter what the situation is, there's so many different things that you didn't even plan out.
Is there any example that you can recall over the past 2 years of flipping that embodies that idea?
Oh, I can go to my first couch, the first couch that I ever got. Oh, when I first went and got it, the lady told me that it needed to be clean, but she didn't tell me it was covered in dog hair. When she said it needed to be clean, I'm thinking, it might have a stain or two somewhere, but man, it was filthy. It was covered in dog hair, man. It took me so long to get all that dog hair off that couch. I kept running to Walmart, buying different dog hair products and all type of stuff. I almost gave up on the first couch, but then I just sat there and told myself, man, I know every couch ain't gonna be like this. So, that's a perfect example right there.
And what would have happened if you gave up on that first couch? Like, what do you think? Where do you think your life would be today?
I don't know. I probably just be. I can't really say. I just be, because at the time I had just got a job at Home Depot along with my electrician job. So I used to get off work and then go to another job. So I'd probably be either looking for something else to flip to make some money, or I'd stick with what I know. Probably still be trying to hustle shoes every now and then. I'm the type of guy though. I like to try everything I see, like all different types of hustles on TikTok and stuff. That's just how I am. I feel like when I see somebody doing something, making money doing something, I feel like I can do it. So I probably would have found something else by now. Worst case scenario, I'll probably still be just working 2 jobs trying to make ends meet.
Yeah. I mean, it's an incredible story. It sounds like flipping really has changed your life.
Oh yeah, it's changed my life. That's why I'm so passionate about it, man. Because I try to make everybody feel the same feeling that I felt. Even outside of flipping couches, even when I first started flipping shoes and I made $1 outside of a job. It's like it's such a different feeling when you make $1 outside of a job than when you know you got this check coming at every 2 weeks and stuff like that. So I mean, flipping and changed my life so much, man. It's crazy. That's why I'm so passionate about it.
Yeah, I can definitely relate. I mean, I'm a career entrepreneur at this point. I've been doing entrepreneurial things for like 10 years. Like at one point, I had co-founded a marketing agency. I ran that for about 4 years. I was still living in my hometown in Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
And, we paid ourselves salary. And I remember like, even at the time, even though I was like a co-founder of the company, I still felt kind of stuck. And like I had created a job for myself, so like it would be Sunday and I'd be like, oh fuck, I have to go to work this whole week, like Monday through Friday. And I just hated that feeling, the Sunday scaries or whatever.
I can definitely feel that. Like I just started a bounce house business. I bought 2 water slides because I just felt like it'll be a good hustle. And don't get me wrong, the money has been decent, but it definitely feels like a job. Like I dread doing it. I'm not gonna give up this easy and sell a bounce house, but it's definitely a job. So I know what you mean when you say you working for yourself, but it still feel like you have a job.
Yeah. And then especially if you're working for someone else and you're like, you don't like that work, it feels terrible, right? And I feel so many people in our society just take that for granted. And like, this is what life is. Like,
Yes.
very, very few people get paid enough and feel fulfilled at work. And so, when you come across something that you really love and are passionate about, that's an amazing thing.
Yeah, some people just settle for it, man. Some people just feel like this how life's supposed to be. Some people, and a lot of people, a lot of things. I always like to say, you don't know it's possible until you see it. Like if you only see people around you working a job, everybody's struggling, nobody ever tried to take no risk. You feel like that's what everybody's doing. But it's like when I started selling shoes, I started hanging around so many different people that was actually living off of selling shoes. So it's like, bro, it's like I know I can do it if they doing it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like you actually gotta see stuff to believe it.
So between like the couch flipping and the content you're creating, and you're getting pretty big on TikTok. Are you like how do you feel about the content you're creating, and aren't you scared that maybe you're getting other people into the game that's going to be competition for you down the road?
It's been a big topic, but I'm not necessarily scared of it because it's like a lot of people gonna be the same way that I was when I first started. They gonna see it. They're gonna see it. They're gonna say they're gonna do it and then never do it. Or a lot of people just too lazy to do it to do what we do. It's different when you flipping small stuff like phones or something. Anybody can go buy a phone or something, but a lot of people just don't want to lift a couch. So, and it's like I've been doing TikTok. I've been taking TikTok serious for probably 2 months now, maybe a little over 2 months. And I'm speaking for my area. I haven't come across not one new flipper in my area. I have a lot of people that tell me they want to learn, but it's like that's as far as it goes. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just too lazy to do what we do. Because that's what I feel like. But I know it might be some flipper out there sooner or later in my area that might try to do it, and he might make a few dollars. But I feel like once he get that 5-piece electric recliner delivery on the 3rd floor, that might be his last one. So, yeah.
No, yeah. I mean, there's definitely like a level of perseverance that's necessary to be a good flipper. But I actually find that it's like being a good flipper, it's like really a skill set, and it's not just the ability or inclination to work hard. It's the business knowledge as well. And some people are willing to work hard, but they don't have the business side, and vice versa. Right. And so you put those things together and you actually have a skill set that's pretty hard to replicate in people. And I think that's why there is a barrier to entry for flipping in general, is that it's a skill-based job, right? Like,
skill-based job.
Yeah. Like, for example, if it was just about the labor, well, there's a huge labor market of people that are willing to move things.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not saying that's like low skill, but it is lower skill than flipping, right?
Yeah. And you gotta, of course, anybody can just make a Facebook post anybody can make a Facebook post and just wait on it to sell. But at the same time, what about slow times, or times when you're being shadow banned or something? What about the times where you actually gotta go find the buyer and the buyer's not gonna find you? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, so since I've been doing TikTok, I haven't come across any new flippers in my area. But since I've been flipping as a whole, since I've been flipping couches as a whole, it's been a couple people here and there that try to flip couches, and they most of the time they end up just selling me all their couches. I had this lady, and that was like maybe 6 months ago. She had maybe 3 or 4 couches. She said she always saw me. This was before I even started doing TikTok. She said she always saw me selling couches, so she decided to buy a couple and try to do it. Her and her boyfriend was doing it, and she was like, they could not get anybody to actually click on their listing and try to buy a couch. And they had some nice couches. I actually bought all their couches. They had maybe 3 or 4 couches that I had went to their storage room and bought. And I was like, I didn't even know what to tell her, because it's like the marketing just comes so natural for me with my Facebook group and the way I take my pictures and stuff like that. I went ahead and told her, like, because she was just taking pictures of couches and she didn't have them staged. It's like she didn't have a throw rug, or it's like her title wasn't good. It's so many different things that goes into what we do, that I'm not even sharing on TikTok. You see what I'm saying? So it's like a lot of people get into what we're doing, or try to get into what we're doing, and they think it's as simple as buy a great section or post it on Marketplace and sell it, when it's way more to do to it. So when a lot of people, they might get into it because of my TikTok, but once they see how much work it actually is, we'll see how long it lasts.
Absolutely. Yeah, it's not all sunshine and rainbows, right?
Yeah.
There are definitely some hard periods and some hard lessons that you're gonna have to learn along the way.
But it's a lot of them.
What's one that you remember that you'd like to share?
With flipping couches, man, it ain't. I would say cleaning couches. You might have this one white section, or that you overpaid for, that you can't get clean, that you might have to just break even on, or you might have to just sell it for way less. But I mean, other than that, the main thing is always just getting clicks on your listing on Marketplace. You know what I'm saying? Because sometimes I remember this one time. This happened not too long ago. I take all my pictures outside. And sometimes the sun might not be in the right place, and your pictures might be looking trash. You know what I'm saying? So you might have to come back 2 or 3 days later, because you didn't get a lot of listens. I mean, you didn't get a lot of clicks on that one listing. So you might have to come back 2 days later, like I had to do with this one specific session. I had to come back 2 days later. I had to retake all the pictures, relist it, and it actually sold the same day. You know what I'm saying? The same couch. I didn't clean it again or nothing. I just took different pictures. So, right. You always come across stuff like that. But as far as, I mean, the business model is real simple, but it's gonna always be, little headaches that you got to deal with.
Absolutely. And the devil is in the details, right? It's like, it's not as simple as taking some photos and throwing up a listing.
Yeah, like pictures. You can have the worst couch ever, but if I done had some bad couches, that I should have never bought and stuff like that. I done had some bad couches. But as long as your picture's good and you honest with people, telling them the flaws, man, you're gonna be able to sell the couch.
How do you think being active on TikTok has impacted the business?
It's definitely has impacted the business as a whole, like couch flipping as a whole, or
Or just your life, How has like being a content creator like changed your perspective, or things with the business?
I can say it's brought me a lot of good business, because I picked up like 3 couches from people that follow me on TikTok. You see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Hey, hold on, Grandma, I'm doing an interview. So I can say it's brought me a lot of business. Like I said, I picked up like 3 couches from people that follow me on TikTok, and they give me good deals because they want me to make a cleaning video on it. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So I can say it's been pretty good.
Okay, and you're just getting started too, like the past 2 months.
I only have 12,000 followers. So imagine when I get actual, like, a lot of followers. So yes, it's been pretty.
Absolutely. And let's say you had 100,000 and you're in a bigger city too, how much business that could end up yielding you. But
if I was in a bigger city doing it, I feel like it would probably have a negative impact, because I share a lot of numbers on my TikTok. I share a lot of numbers, and a lot of people don't do that. So a lot of people might not want you to buy their couch for $50 and resell it for $600.
Sure. Right. Yeah, I mean, it depends market to market. Like, I've noticed a big difference between people selling couches in New York. You tell them what you do versus like people selling couches in like Philadelphia. And these cities are 2 hours apart. But the people in Philly, so like I've had people tell me like I'd rather die than sell you this couch.
Yeah, man, people mean, man. I actually had this one lady. Man. We had locked in a deal and everything. This happened maybe a little over a year ago. We had locked in a deal and everything, and I'm guessing because I have my business name on my TikTok. I mean, I have my business name in my bio, and on my Facebook, my profile picture was me sitting on the couch. And we had locked in the deal. She had a couch listed for $400. I had talked her down to $250. And man, she had gave me her address and everything. And when I was on my way, she told me that I'm gonna make money off of it anyway. So she might as well do the $400. And I'm like, you just agreed to $250. So some people just don't want to see you make money.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they don't understand. Well, that's like your margin, right? That's what like makes the deal worth it. I mean, some deals are better than others, admittedly.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if they understand the business model and they can kind of calculate what your margins are going to be, they may want a higher cut. So that gives them better negotiating leverage. But it works the other way too. Like if you already priced to the extent that you could, obviously you always want more.
Mm-hmm.
Her asking for a higher rate on her couch basically kills the deal. So it works.
Yeah, I mean, she had a pretty nice section. I'm not gonna lie. I almost went and paid the $400 because I was gonna sell her couch for it. I was gonna sell her couch for $800 easy. Mm-hmm. But my pride kind of got to me. I was like, man, I'm not paying $400 and you just told me $250 just because you think I'm gonna make some money off of it. But
right.
I didn't even go buy it. And she actually hit me up maybe a month later and asked me that I want it. And I was like, I still told her no.
Yeah, it's like, now you can go figure out how to get rid of it on your own. That's the other part. Is like you do provide a service to people that are you could sell it yourself for $800 if you wanted to on Facebook Market, but you don't want to put in the work, right? So
you don't want to put.
So and in some level, people undervalue the job that you're doing as well.
Mm-hmm. And like I said, it worked the other way around too, because I done had a lot of people actually give me better deals or actually give me couches for free just because they might have seen me selling a couch, or they might have looked at my Facebook and saw 100 other couches listed, and a lot of people not really hurting for money like that. You see what I'm saying? So they rather just give me the couch and let me make all the money off of it.
Mm-hmm.
I had a lot of people like that too.
So we're almost at our time together, but I'm curious, you've been doing this fiercely for 2 years. You're making, I think, probably more money than you've ever made before. You have a burgeoning TikTok audience as well. Like life is looking pretty good, if I had to guess. Where do you hope things go in the near future? Like where would you like to be in like a year or two with the business or your life? Like
I think about this all the time, man, and I'd be lying to you if I just came up with an answer. I really don't know. At the same, I wanna be the biggest couch flipper ever and have 100 couches coming in every month, and 100 couches coming in every. You see what I'm saying? But at the same time, I don't want to sound like I'm satisfied, but I like where I'm at. You know what I'm saying? I'm selling enough couches a month where I'm making a lot of money, but all my time isn't dedicated to just couches. You see what I'm saying? I don't want to only have time to only do couches. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah. And
of course, there's always the option to figure out how to automate the business and have people working for you 24/7. But I don't really want to do that either. I don't want to have somebody's whole income depending on me. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But I would like to. I don't want to say I want to stay where I'm at. I would like to continue to grow. But sooner or later, I know for a fact I want to be able to pay all my bills just from TikTok. And the couch money, it can be investing money, saving money, do whatever I want. But I want to get to the point where I can pay every bill that I got on TikTok. And that way the couch money, the bounce house money, everything else, I can just use that money to invest.
I see. No, that's a great perspective. Not everyone who flips couches wants to or needs to build the biggest couch flipping machine or business in the world, right? Like, and in fact, like a lot of people that do go down the road, they just end up getting burned out.
Yeah, that's what I don't want to do. I don't want to get burned out because I love what I do, but at the same time, I don't want that to be every moment of my life. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah, and the simple thing is like the business model just doesn't scale that well, right? Most people are not in a market where they're going to be able to reasonably get more than 30 couches a month on Facebook, even if they have help like drivers and VAs and cleaners. And they're probably going to struggle to sell more than 30 couches a month if they're just posting on Facebook Marketplace as well. And so around 20, 30 couches is a pretty good place to be if you're a flipper.
Yeah. I'm consistently doing. I like to say I want to hit 30 couches a month. I'm like last month I did 28. The month before that I did 30. I did 33. You know what I'm saying? So I try to be around 30 couches a month, but I'm not just bummed out if I don't get 30. You know what I'm saying?
It's a good place to be, honestly. And if you want to get much further than 30, what ends up happening is you like hire a cleaner, you hire help, and then your margins go down because it's like, we talked about this before, you're about a 60% net profit margin. That's excellent. Now, if you hire 2 helpers, that 60% is probably going to go to like 30%. Now you're making half as much as you were. And so you have to sell twice as many couches. And that's what a lot of people who scale exactly where they end up. They make double the revenue, same amount of profit, or even less profit.
Yeah. I see. I always see. I know you interviewed him one time, man. I love when he posts videos of his warehouse because I'd be so amazed. What's the guy name? He owns AZ Couch Depot. It's
Josh and Tyler.
I can't even think of his last name, but man, I'm so amazed when he posts pictures of his website. But I could just imagine how much of a headache it is.
I mean, those guys are maniacs, right? Like
I applaud them.
And they're both of them are maniacs. So you like put them together, and they like eat, breathe, and sleep couches. Like they're up 5 a.m. Like they love it. They love the grind.
Yeah, I applaud them. I would love to get to that point, but at the same time, I'm good if I don't.
Yeah. And for them too, like they're doing different things. They're not just posting on Facebook, they're not just sourcing on Facebook, although that's a big chunk of their business, right? But they're some of the top users of our listing tool. So they're very active on OfferUp, very active on like Craigslist, other marketplaces. Actually, no, they're active. I think it's 50% of their business comes in from OfferUp.
And they do a lot of B stock too, right?
So I think they stopped doing B stock. Actually, I think what happened is B stock became more competitive after they started, they came onto the podcast, started telling people about it. So B stock is more competitive and less lucrative, therefore.
Yeah.
And so now they're focused more on new couches. I just had a conversation with them the other day. So they, still do the used, and they're sourcing a lot of couches through our app. And then they also, have new couches that they're bringing in containers full and doing quite well with those.
Yeah. See, I would love to get into doing all that, but I just don't. It's like, I know those guys. I know they don't sleep. I would love to get to that point, but at the same time, man, I don't.
Absolutely. Well, if you're ever interested in exploring some strategies for expansion, that's exactly what we do at Ivy Flip. But I think that's a conversation for another time. So.
Oh yeah. Because I see, what's my guy named Keon? I see he does a lot of liquidation with you guys. And I would like to get into that, but at the same time, like I said, I like where I'm at.
Yeah, no problem. Hey, well, Jeffrey, I've really loved talking with you today. I look forward to speaking with you in the future and keeping track of your journey couch flipping and also on TikTok. But yeah, appreciate you coming on, and then looking forward to connecting down the road.
Yeah, man, I appreciate you having me, man. I really like this.
Absolutely.